Alright, I'm not even sure how to hold these cameras like this to do these selfies. Alright, so here we are on the plumbing phase, and there's the sewer exposed. There's the main water line. We will not be going into the main water line. You can see that I've dug the trench all the way over there. It's actually 59 feet to the toilet. It's the hardest part. So nobody really tells you that. You see these rough-in videos on plumbing and they don't really tell you much. So let me explain how I did this. The main line is a 3-inch line. It's going to connect to the 4-inch sewer that I just showed you. And that line has to maintain somewhere between 1/8 and 1/4 inch per foot slope. So what I did was I dug down there, and then I calculated that I have about 9 inches between here and there. That's not quite what I would consider optimal. I believe a 1/4 inch is closer to 14 or 15 inches. Problem that I had, because nobody explains it, is this. The plumbing has these fittings, and the fittings are quite large. Because they're 3-inch fittings, then what you end up with is they're about 7¼ inches from the base of this right here to the top of that. So you add two of them together and you're about 14½, 15 inches. So that is going to go in here in this hole. And this is the form here. And the form for the concrete is put in there so that this is level. Now, what that means is that determines how deep you have to put your fittings, because your fittings have to go below the foundation. This is slab on grade, has a footer. The footer's 16 inches wide by 18 inches deep. That means that this pipe here, this is going to have another U-turn right here, a 90-degree L. And that's going to have a 2-inch vent to roof right here, and this part here is going to go out to the water closet, or the toilet, as they say. So this pipe has to be below that, because if it's not, then it intrudes into the foundation and you'll probably fail your inspection. So that's the first thing you have to do, is set the depth of that hole and this, so that the pipe down there has a slope of 1/8 to 1/4 all the way down there, and it has to be a really smooth slope. So I had the excavator come in here, and you can see how much extra digging I did. I should have let him dig down deep. It's easier to fill than it is to dig. My mistake. So that's just something that you ought to consider. And so once you get your main 3-inch line in, then I'm going to have, and you can see that I've marked the forms. That's the bathroom there. The toilet's going to be there, over there. The sink is going to be next to the toilet. Let me see if I can even find my finger here in the camera. So, toilet over there, sink over here, and then the tub over there. Now, besides that, I'm going to put 3 additional sinks in the garage, and it sounds like overkill, but hey, if this is my dream garage, I may as well put in enough sinks that I can wash my hands and, you know, stuff like that without having to always run back and forth. It's a 40-foot depth for the garage, so I've got a bunch of sinks and I want to put them in. So that's going to require a bunch of plumbing. Once you bury your 3-inch line at the slope, the appropriate slope down there, then what you're going to do is you're going to branch off it with your 2-inch line. Now, everywhere there's a sink, you're going to have one 2-inch line that comes in, and that 2-inch line is going to come across, and then it's going to drop down with a 45 into the 3-inch, and then you'll have either a Y or a long turn 90 in there. The 45 is what allows you, 45 is considered vertical, so you put a 45 degree fitting from the 2-inch line down into the 3-inch line and you're good to go. But the rest of that line, you want to maintain that slope, and I believe 1/4 inch for a 2-inch line is 1/4 inch per foot. At least that's what it is in Tucson. So, and you know, if you're building your own, you better research, because even if you are in Tucson, I'm not a plumber, I'm not an expert. That's just what I'm going to do my garage slope at. And there's going to be another, you're going to see another 2-inch line coming in over here. That's going to feed the sink in the bathroom, and then another sink outside of the bathroom. Over there is going to be the tub, so it's going to have a P-trap, and that's going to be a 2-inch line also, and it's going to come this way, drop to a 45. So all the 2-inch lines drop down to the 40 with a 45 into the 3-inch lines, and that makes their slope much easier to set. So the way you test is when you go into your sewer down there, you're going to have, once again, a Y. The Y is going to be, it's going to come out here. Now this should be a gradual slope, so there's not going to be a 45. We're going to have that slope that's going to be gradual from here all the way down there. So we're going to come in with a Y, and then that Y is at a 45-degree angle. And then we're going to put in a second Y, and that's going to have a screw-on cap, and that's a test port. You put what's called a ball, a test ball in there. They're about 30 bucks. They screw on, they have an air valve on it. You fill that balloon with air, and then what's going to happen is it's going to fill the 3-inch pipe with that balloon, and that basically stops up the end. And once you stop up the end, then you're going to come back this way, and all your plumbing will be done. You'll glue caps on all the vents except for one. That 2-inch vent, wherever you have it, is going to have a 10-foot section of pipe glued to it. Then you're going to do a water test. You're going to fill that with water, and you're just going to let it stand. When the inspector comes out, he's going to look at all your fittings, make sure you've used the right fittings, and then he's going to measure your slope. He's going to grab that 2-inch pipe, and he's going to shake it. When he does that, water's going to come out and drench him, but that water proves that your sewer system is watertight, and that's basically what they're going to do for that inspection. I'm also going to have a 2-inch, or excuse me, 2 supply lines. They're coming from the master closet, as I had said previously, and the purpose of that is I don't have to have my separate water heater. I'm just going to use a hot and cold water. It's going to come in from the master over here. I'm going to take off all this monstrosity. It used to be a water softener, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to come across. I'm going to come up in the foundation with a hot and a cold. I'm going to cap them. I'll have 2 valves over there on the wall somewhere, shut-off valves, and then that will take care of my supply line. It's a 3/4 inch ball valve. That's what it is, not a gate valve. A gate valve is the one that looks like a hose bib that you turn the handle 100 times and it just shuts a little gate. But you can see straight down there, you get 100% flow out of a valve like this. And when you close it, the ball closes off the water. This is the kind of valve that you want to use for a supply, because it doesn't restrict. That's it for today's video. Hope you liked it. Anyway, oh yeah, the traditional, oh, there I am. I really don't like being in my own videos. For some reason, I guess people find that more entertaining. I don't. But, oh well. There you go. See you next time.